Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, I'm going to share my 10 best ways to manifest. So if you can adopt and start practicing these 10 methods, you will become a manifesting king or queen. I promise it works. I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in my clients' life. And speaking of clients, I started a Patreon and I will be giving a mini manifesting course over there. I'll be doing weekly videos, weekly energy reports with my readings, and so much more. So if you want to become a member of my Patreon, you'll get a little bit more of an intimate look at my experience. I don't really share all of my juicy details about my personal life on YouTube, but I do over on Patreon, and I'll give you specific examples of the things I've manifested, how they arrived, how long it took them to arrive. So go ahead over there and join our tribe, and you'll feel so connected to all these like-minded people who are there to learn and grow. All right, here are my 10 things. The first one is understanding energy. When you're manifesting, you have to understand that you are energy and your manifestation is an energy. And we have to get you to match that same vibration of your manifestation. So if your manifestation is a wonderful person that you want to call into your life, but you're over here not taking care of your own body, maybe you're just not treating yourself kindly. Maybe your thoughts are really negative. When your energy is in that vibration, it is going to be impossible for you to call in somebody who is not a match to this and vibrates at a higher energy, and they're pure light and they're loving and they're full of unconditional love. You can't call in somebody like that just to make your life better. You have to become a match to that, because if that person does end up showing up, you're going to end up butting heads and it's not going to last because you're not a match to each other. You don't love yourself. They do. They're going to be turned off by the fact that you don't love yourself, and they're going to go the other direction. So you have to understand energy, and that you are always vibrating at a certain frequency. And I've talked about it in my other videos, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but when we are waking up in the morning, we have a choice. Do we want to be on a radio station of love and joy and happiness? Or do we want to be in fear and shame and guilt and anger and frustration? You get to choose what frequency you want to be on. And I know for me, when I first started learning about energy, the first thing I started doing was making sure that my energy was pristine. And if anything knocked me out of alignment, I knew exactly what to do to get back into alignment. So that's what this list is all about. So here's the second thing: awareness of thought on a continuous basis. You have to be uber mindful. I taught mindfulness for the last 4 to 5 years at a high school. I made a mindfulness program. I taught kids how to meditate, and I was the Zen chick. And now I can see how that prepped me to do this kind of work now, because now I teach people to pay attention to their thought, and they don't have to meditate to do that. It helps. But there are other ways to become aware of the ego and your mind and all the thoughts that are popping up. And when you have consistent, the key word was on a continuous basis, right? The key phrase, when you have consistent awareness of your thoughts, you can weed them out quicker. The quicker you weed them out, the quicker you stay in alignment with your desires. And you get kicked back in the flow, as I like to call it. Okay, so the first one is understanding that your energy, and you have to match the energy of your desire. The second thing is consistent awareness of your thoughts. You always have to be catching the doubtful, the thoughts that are causing you to not believe, which is really, really hard, because your sweet minds have been conditioned to not believe that you can receive things for not doing anything. You're worthy of receiving a ton of money for not lifting a finger. It's just part of our being. We came here in these bodies to experience this experience. Why not call in all the things so we can play and dance and make a difference? But the people that are out there struggling so hard to make a living, and they're thinking, I got to work hard to make money. And no, if somebody just gives me $50,000, I can't accept that. I didn't work for it. Well, what if it's a gift from the universe that you've been manifesting, and then all of a sudden it arrives and you're like, oh, I don't like how it arrived, so I'm not going to take it. Absolutely not. You need to open up those hands and receive it. Okay, so being aware of your thoughts will allow you to get into a state of worthiness. All right, number 3, stopping to write whenever you feel like it. So remember, these are all the things that I do. I understand energy. I'm always aware of my thought. And if I'm walking around my house or if I'm out and about and I have a pen and paper, if a thought comes into my mind that I want to manifest something, I will quickly stop and write it down. Because when we write it, I always say, think it, write it, believe it, receive it. Think it, write it, believe it, receive it. So you have to write it. You have to get it on paper so that you can feel it. Because if it's just a thought that pops in and goes away, yes, you can still manifest it. I'm not saying your thoughts can't manifest, but when you write it, you really put yourself in the vibration of the person that has it. Okay, so anytime you have a cool thought about something you want to manifest, or I don't know, anything you want to write down, in passing, grab a pen and paper and just write it when you're thinking of it. Don't say, oh, I'll journal that later tonight. Do it right then in the moment. Grab your phone and put it in the notes section on your phone. Okay. Number 4, always asking myself if I could feel better in this moment. So I call these check-ins. Say it's 12 p.m. on a Tuesday and I just got done 2 Zoom calls with clients and I'm cleansing my energy. Maybe I'm going for a quick walk before my next Zoom and I'm asking myself, could I feel better right now? What would make me feel better? Maybe a bath, maybe yummy food, maybe reading and learning something new about manifesting, maybe watching somebody else's content, but always asking yourself, could I feel better right now? Why don't I feel 100%? But we will never know what we're vibrating at if we don't check in with ourselves. Okay, so that is a really, really important one. Could I feel better right now? Yeah, what could I do? All right, let me figure that out. So just like I talked about in the beginning of this video, is like, what are some of the things that we can do to regulate our emotions, or, knowing exactly what we need to do to put ourselves in alignment? This is part of that. Writing things down and journaling and truly just asking yourself what your needs are. And when you do that, you get to know yourself. So that way, when you're around other people, they're going to be like, wow, you really know, you have a great connection with yourself. You know exactly what you need, when you need it, how you need it. And those are the best people to hang out with because they're not asking anything of you. They're not leaning on you. They're just standing next to you. And it's really enjoyable to be next to people like that because they're not trying to take from you. And I always try to surround myself with people like that, people that aren't always pulling on my energy and always asking me questions about how they can improve their life. I'm happy to help, but there is a difference between somebody who just truly loves themselves and they're with you just because they like your presence and they just want to hang out and they're not trying to take from you. Okay, so that's a really, really, I'm glad that message just came through for you all. Okay, so always asking yourself, could I feel better right now? Number 5, being deliberate with your thoughts and images. So your visualizations, your imaginal acts, you have to be deliberate with it. So if you're driving and you're starting to imagine your manifestations arriving and you're seeing the check come in, you're seeing the direct deposit, somebody's knocking on your door with a dozen roses, dozen pink roses would be my thing with hydrangeas. You just imagine it happening and you be deliberate. So you do it over and over again. So on a 15-minute car ride, I might imagine that happening, somebody coming to actually take me on a date and to be respectful and to honor me and to treat me like a queen and to ask me what I love to do or how I like to spend my downtime. And I'm excited to ask them. I'll play through that scenario like 10 times on that drive. I am deliberate about it. Okay, so you can't just, journal it once. Maybe you could journal it once, forget about it, and it could arrive. But when you make it a deliberate effort, I believe it speeds up your manifestation, but it's not exhausting. I did another video previously about efforting and how we can effortlessly manifest. And that's basically seeing the desire coming in is not something solid and hard to call in. It's just a flow. It's like the ocean coming up and like rushing over your feet. That's your manifestations. Every wave that comes in is a new manifestation. And you get to choose, is it going to be a negative one or is it going to be a positive one? But the waves are coming regardless, but you get to choose what type of wave is coming. Okay, number 6, being aware of my dialogue with others. So like I said in number 2, constant awareness of thought, we can be really good at understanding what's going on in here. But as soon as you throw another human in front of us, our program starts running again. All the thoughts that we've tried to weed out, they all of a sudden start coming out of our mouth again. And we're like, I already did this work. Why am I still saying, oh, I can't afford that, or no, I can't do that? That's because your program is hard to unlearn. And that's where practice is really awesome, and being around people that will call you out on your thoughts, and they'll say, hey, you don't normally think that way. You don't say you can't afford things. So being aware of your dialogue with others is huge, because that is your subconscious mind talking. When you're talking with another person, it's just kind of like spewing out really, really quickly. And if you can start to replay conversations or think before you speak and say, oh, I almost just said I couldn't afford that, but I just changed my dialogue and said, nope, I'm not going to, I'll pass today. No, thanks. You don't even have to say anything about the money. And I always address money just because I feel like we are conditioned to speak so poorly about our money, and we have to say better thoughts. And when we speak it, we feel it and we believe it. So we have to start believing different thoughts. Okay, number 7, constantly choosing love. Okay, so this is a really hard one to shift into. If you haven't done a lot of healing in your life and you haven't been through tough things, this might be hard for you. So when I say choosing love, pretend like you're driving on the road and there's traffic, or there's somebody riding your tail, or there's somebody who did not let you out and you've been waiting there for like 2 minutes. You're like, how do these people be so rude and not let me out? How can you choose love in that moment? How can you be completely unbothered by all things? That is choosing love. When you are in anger, when you're in frustration, when you're letting things hit your vibration and shake you, you're going to be easily kicked out of alignment, and then you have to kick yourself back in. So instead of getting kicked out, why not just not let that stuff bother you and see those distractions as distractions keeping you from your manifestation? So in each moment, if you have somebody in front of you in a store and they're making a scene and they're making you have to wait longer, you can sit there and say, okay, the universe put me here for a reason. Maybe it's testing my patience. I'm just going to sit here and be very, very patient. And I'm going to say, universe, could you bring me another line to go in? Could you bring me another cashier? I would so greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And as the person in front of you is arguing with somebody, you ignore them. You pray to the universe and ask it to save you. And you say, could you please save me? And watch what happens. A cashier might tap you on the shoulder and be like, hey, babe, I can take you over here at this counter. Boom. You just manifested your way out of something instead of standing in line going, oh, this person's so annoying. And then you get in your car and you call somebody and say, somebody just held me up in the store. Avoid all of that. That is out of alignment. You are not going to manifest anything but negativity if you stay in that vibration. So choosing love is always seeing a situation that could normally bother any other human, but because you're on this journey and you're manifesting, you are a vibrant soul. You are out of your body, witnessing the chaos that's going on. And you're saying, I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm not going to let this rock me. I know I'm always being guided and I'm being tested right now, and I'm not going to let it rock me. Okay. Always choose love. Plus it just makes you a good person. And number 8, giving a lot. So one of my favorite things with manifesting is I always notice when I give a little, I get double. So the other day, my friend was, she was hurting for a little money, and she's like, hey, would you mind could I just borrow $60? And I was like, yes, absolutely. She's going through a really hard time. So I gave her the $60. And then within 2 days, she sent me back double. She was so grateful. She had the money to return it, and she sent back double. So sometimes when we give, we get double back, we get triple back. And sometimes when we give, maybe you pay for somebody's coffee at the coffee shop, and then later in the day, somebody pays for your dinner. Maybe you go out to dinner with your parents and they pay for your gas on the way there. It's just this energetic flow. You just gave something earlier in the day, and now you're receiving something later in the day. It's textbook. It is sending a signal to the universe that you're putting something out by giving. And that's the universe being like, oh, wow, they're starting this flow of energy. Let's keep it going. And it's like this circle, like the earth is round, right? So whatever you put out, you get back. Okay, number 9, cleansing my energy. This is huge. So anytime I'm out in public, I'm crossing paths with people, our aura extends 6 feet out. And no matter who it is, whether they're a happy person, sad person, joyful, whatever, we do not want to pick up somebody else's energy and bring it home with us. So as soon as I get home, I'll quickly do a quick swipe. I'll spray with lavender water. Let me get my lavender water. I'll show you what it looks like. I get this on Amazon. It's my favorite. I'll just do a quick little, I spray my whole body and it just feels so good. It cuts through any icky energy and it cleanses your aura. Your aura is a real thing. You got to keep it clean. So when we are coming home, sorry, this rogue hair is driving me nuts. When we're coming home, side note, how cute is this clip, you guys? For those of you that know that I love hearts, my friend Emily, I ran into her today in the parking lot. I parked right next to her car and she was coming out of the store and she came up to my window and she was like, I am not seeing you right now. Am I really seeing you right now? And I was like, yes. And then she literally just bought these clips and she took 4 of them off the package and gave them to me. So how cute are they? I'm wearing them in honor of her. So shout out to you, Em. But anyway, so now I lost my train of thought. Oh, so cleansing your energy. So when you come home, your aura needs to be cleansed. You need to be back into your own energy. So cleansing your energy. Now that you've seen the lavender water, there are some other ways you can use Palo Santo. You can use sage. You can take a bath. You can shake it out. Like I did the swipe. You want to just clean off all, like literally, it's almost like you're drawing a cutout of your body. You're just going to cleanse all around your body. When your aura is clean, you are back home in your own energy. When you have crossed paths with somebody, or if you hug somebody and then you leave them, and that person has a lot of manic thoughts, or maybe they fear things, or maybe they're not in a good money situation, and you come home and then all of a sudden you're fearing your money situation, which you don't even have one, that's how you know you've picked up somebody's energy. Maybe you immediately went to the cabinet and started eating, and that's something that you wouldn't normally do, but you just were out with somebody who might have a little bit of like disordered eating, and they do struggle with a relationship with food. You might have picked up their energy and their thought patterns. So when we're manifesting, we only want to be with our own thoughts. We do not want the energy of somebody else on top of us. And if you suffer from headaches, you need this. Go buy it on Amazon, okay? It's called flower water. Spray it all over your head, just like maybe 3 or 4 sprays. I'm telling you, most headaches are from an extra amount of energy that is clouding our energetic field. And a quick little cleanse can a lot of times get rid of that headache. Headaches can be so many different things, but that for me works all the time. My diet's pretty clean, so my headaches normally don't come from food, but this works. Okay, so cleansing your energy is huge when you're manifesting, because if you have different thought patterns and you don't feel good and you were just around somebody really negative or somebody who was really sad, and then you come home with that energy, that's a couple hours that you just lost of staying in a good vibration. And we're not just always staying in a good vibration just to manifest. It just makes our life more enjoyable. Don't you just want to feel good and be that person that doesn't get bothered by much? And you also receive every single hour of the day. All these cool things are happening. You want a magical life. That's why you're here learning about this. But cleansing your energy is huge. You have to know when you're out of your energy or when somebody else's energy is on you, and you have to know what to do to shake it off. Nature is a really good one too. I'm glad I just thought of that. Thank you, universe, for putting that in my mind. If you feel like you've picked up somebody's energy, get outside of nature and go for a walk. Nature is a natural cleanse. Okay, and the last one is always learning new things about manifesting. So these 10 tips and these 10 methods have worked so well for me. So when I am putting on videos or listening to books about how to manifest more and how to make it effortless, and also so I can teach it, but just learning the system, it's so important. And if we stop the learning and we just think we know it all, when we think we don't need help anymore, it's just like an arrogance. We have to stay humble and know that we are not pros. You know, nobody is a pro. Everybody's always on this journey, and we all are going to have things that happen. Something might happen on Thursday that might kick us out of alignment, and we might need to go watch a video to help us learn what just happened to me. Why did that just happen? Or why did my manifestation arrive and now it's gone? I don't understand. So we have to keep learning. We are always students of life. I always say life is a classroom. People are our teachers. Our lessons are our experiences. And when we can master and manipulate energy and get into the flow and call in our desires and really see our manifestations as waves coming in, they're constantly coming. You just get to choose what type of wave you're going to get. Is it going to be filled with money and love? Because you are choosing love and you are feeling abundant and you know you're worthy of it. Or are you stepping over here to this wave where it's frustration? You're standing in the line of the store and you're getting annoyed at the person in front of you. Well, you just stood in front of the wave that's going to keep bringing you frustrating experiences. When you have something breaking down in your house, you're standing in front of a wave that just is causing breakdown and chaos. And you have to be in that moment and pray and say, universe, can you help me fix this? Can you send me help? Can you bring me the funds to fix this dishwasher or whatever it is? And when you pray and surrender, then the universe is like, yay, they get it. And then it moves you in front of the wave of money and help and a new dishwasher or whatever it is. So you get to choose. These 10 methods, I'm going to quickly recap, okay? The first one was understanding energy. 2, awareness of thought on a continuous basis. 3, stopping to write when you feel like it. My ears are ringing right now, so that's a good one. 4, always asking myself if I could feel better in this moment. We always want to be elevating our energy. A lot of times it's a nap that we need. When you ask yourself that, if you don't feel good, you might need to stop the momentum of negative thinking or efforting. And you're trying to manifest and you're trying, go take a nap and just let your mind rest and say, I'm done. I'm going to go watch some mindless TV. I'm going to kick myself off the manifesting journey for a second, and I'm just going to go feel good. Number 5, being deliberate with your thoughts and your imaginal acts. Number 6, being aware of your dialogue with others. 7, constantly choosing love, being unbothered. 8, giving a lot. What you give is what you get. 9, cleansing your energy. And 10, always learning, always staying a student on this manifesting journey. All right, lovies, I hope you enjoyed my 10 things that I love to do to help me manifest effortlessly. And I hope you'll adopt them and practice them in your life. I'm sending you so much love. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next one. All right, lovies, peace out.